Hi, I'm Alicia, and today I'm going to show you how to quickly change or reset WordPress password. Changing your password and resetting your password in WordPress result in similar outcomes. Changing your password is something you do yourself. If you have access to your website and your profile settings, you should be able to change your WordPress password easily. In other words, you change your password when you know your current password. Resetting your password is something you'll need to get the system to do for you, or maybe ask an administrator if you aren't one. For this video, I'm assuming that you are the site admin and you have access to resetting passwords for other users, which is something I'll show you how to do later in this video. The main thing about resetting a password is that you do it when you don't know the existing password. But before we get too far, I want to let you know that there will be links to more resources in this video's description. And remember, subscribe and ring that bell to get notifications for future helpful content. So let's get started. If all you need to do is change your own WordPress password and you have the old one, you can do this in the admin. You can also reset your password in the admin if you have access to email. And finally, as a site admin, you can reset another user's password. If you have access to your site and just want to change your WordPress password, you can do it in the profile screen. In WordPress, go to Users and then Your Profile to access your profile screen. Click the Generate Password button. A new password will be generated for you and displayed for you to copy. If you want to edit it, you can do so. Click the Update Profile button and your new password will be saved. You'll need to log in again with the new password, so make note of it. If you have access to the email account you used to set up your WordPress account, but you don't know your password, you can use the Forgot Password link to quickly reset your password. Browse to your WordPress login page. Typically, this is located at /WP-admin, as you can see on the screen. Then click on the Lost Your Password link at the bottom. On the next screen, enter your username or the email address you used for your WordPress account. Click on Get New Password and you will receive a link to create a new password via email. Check your inbox and click the link in the email you receive. You'll be taken to a screen where you can reset your password. Finally, log into your site using the new password with your username or email address. Done. If you're the site administrator, another user might ask you to reset their password, or you might choose to reset their password because it's not secure enough or it's been shared too widely. In both cases, you can reset the user's WordPress password via the admin screens. In the WordPress admin, go to Users. Find the user whose password you want to reset and click the edit link beneath their name. This will open up the editing screen for that user. Scroll down to the account management section and click the Generate Password button. A new password will be generated. You can edit it if you want to. Make sure that if you do, the password is strong. Click the Update User button. The user will be sent an email with details for their new password. If you have access to the site, another option for resetting or changing a password is via WP-CLI. You can change any user's password this way. Start by accessing your site via WP-CLI as you normally would. To change a password, navigate to the root directory, the folder where you installed WordPress. Get a list of users by typing this command. Find the user whose password you want to reset and make a note of their user ID. If it's the site admin, the user ID will be 1, but you can use this method to change other user passwords too. Type the following command. Replace password in the command line with the new password for the user and make sure you use a much stronger password than the word password. If the user ID you want to work with isn't 1, replace the 1 in the example with their user ID. Another way to change WordPress admin passwords is directly in the database via phpMyAdmin. If you don't have access to your email or your WordPress site isn't sending emails correctly, this might be the only solution you have. You might also have to use this method if you're on a local development install. If you are a Kinsta customer, you can always reach out to support for assistance if you don't feel comfortable doing this. Remember, editing and manipulating tables directly from your phpMyAdmin could break your site if not done correctly. If you're not comfortable doing this, consider hiring a developer or reach out to support. You'll first want to log in to phpMyAdmin. If your web host is using cPanel, the link to phpMyAdmin is typically found under the database section. If you're a Kinsta customer, you can access phpMyAdmin directly from your My Kinsta dashboard. You can find the login credentials there as well. On the left-hand side, click on your database, then scroll down and click on the WP Users table. WP Users is the standard table used on fresh WordPress installations. However, some sites might have a prefix added for security purposes. In this case, it might be named slightly different, such as WP-56 user. On the row next to your admin username, click on Edit. If you have multiple users on your WordPress site, double-click to ensure you are editing the right one. In the column User Pass, you can enter a new value for your password. Ensure that you select MD5 from the function column. Then click on Go at the bottom. And that's it. You've now changed your WordPress admin password. You can return to your WordPress login screen and use your updated credentials to access your site. If you're with Kinsta, you can access phpMyAdmin via the My Kinsta dashboard and reset your password that way. Once you're in phpMyAdmin, reset your password using the previously mentioned instructions for phpMyAdmin. Another way to reset your password via phpMyAdmin is by using an SQL statement. Simply run the following from the SQL tab. Make sure to update the new password and admin username values with your own. You can access SQL via the SQL tab in phpMyAdmin. Another way to change or reset your passwords is through FTP. Start by accessing your site using an FTP client or a code editor with FTP included. Navigate to the root directory of your site. Now navigate to the WP content folder, then go to the themes folder to find the folder with the currently active theme in it. In that folder, find the functions.php file. Open it or download it so you can edit it. It's always a good idea to make a duplicate of this file first, just in case of any problems. Now, in the first line, right after the opening, add this line of code. The first parameter is the new password. I suggest you use a more secure one than the word password. And the second parameter is the user ID. User ID 1 will be the administrator. Now, save the modified file or upload it to your site in the same location, overwriting the old version of the file. Your admin password will now be the password you use in the functions file. Log into your site and check that you can access it. Once you've logged in, go back to your functions.php file and remove that line of code. It's very important that you do this, as leaving it in your file will make your site vulnerable and will mean that your password is reset again and again every time a page is loaded. At Kinsta, we don't use cPanel. Instead, we use My Kinsta to reset your password, as we saw before. But if you're with a provider that does use cPanel, this is another way to do it. If you installed WordPress using an auto installer in cPanel and you don't have access to the email account, you can reset the WordPress administrator password in cPanel by accessing the installation you created there. You can't reset any other user passwords this way. Start by opening cPanel and scrolling down to the WordPress manager. Depending on your hosting provider, you may need to look at the auto installer or Softaculous section instead. This will take you to the WordPress auto installer screen. Scroll down to find the installation for which you want to change the password. Next to the installation whose password you want to change, click the edit icon, a pencil. This will take you to the installation editing screen. Scroll down to the admin account section and find the admin password field. Type in a new password, making sure it's secure and that you can remember it. Now go back to your site and log in using your new password. If all else fails, a last-ditch resort is to use the WordPress emergency password reset script. To use this, you'll need to know the administrator's username. It will update the password for the admin account and send an email to the administrator's email address. You don't actually need to access the email, but you will need to know the username. The new password will be sent to your email address, so if your email has been compromised, don't use this method. In most cases, if you have the username and access to email, you can use the last password link in the login screen. But if you don't have access to your site at all and you need to reset your password, this is an option. Start by creating a file called emergency.php in your root directory, the folder where WordPress is installed. Copy the emergency password script and paste it into your file. In your browser, open http://example.com/emergency.php, where example.com is your site's address. Make sure to use emergency.php, not just emergency. In the WordPress administrator field, enter the username of the administrator account. In the password field, enter your new password. Click the Update Options button. A message is displayed noting the changed password. Check your email as you'll get an email with the updated information. Delete emergency.php from your server when you're finished. Don't leave it on your server, as someone else could use it to change your password. You'll now be able to use your site with a new password. If you need to change or you've lost your WordPress password, you don't need to panic. Changing or resetting your passwords in WordPress can be done very quickly. Work through the methods detailed in this video, and you'll have a new password and access to WordPress in no time. Kinsta's WordPress hosting can speed up your website by up to 200%, and you'll get 24/7 support from our expert WordPress engineers. Let us show you the Kinsta difference. Try a free demo of our My Kinsta dashboard at demo.kinsta.com. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials, explainers, and helpful content like this.